Welcome back. This video is the continuation of my previous video which I made on seasonal data and how to find out a seasonal time series by using two specific packages in R. Using the seasonal data sometimes is not sufficient because of the following reason. First is that like in seasonal data, the seasonal pattern might remain because when if we are not using the full length of data and only using a specific part of the data and doing deseasonalization or getting a deseasonal series from that, it might happen that during that particular period you uh, removed the seasonal pattern, but what about the seasonal patterns, seasonality which happened uh, before in that particular specific before to that specific period which you have selected? So that patterns remains, that seasonality remains until unless you take the full length of the data from where the data is available starts to the end and doing a deseasonal procedure, following doing deseasonality. uh, if you are not taking that, then there is chance that seasonality might remain in the data after doing a deseasonalization of the data. So in that case, and another important thing is that seasonality and your in seasonal procedure, season finding a seasonal time series, we follow two procedure. First is to deseasonalize. We first deseasonalize, remove the deseasonal data, and find out the autoregressive and moving average component of the data, and find out a proper model for the data, and using that we forecast the data. So using uh, only using the packages and deseasonalize the data is not sufficient. We have to sometimes we have to follow, we have to check the ARMA or ARIMA process of the data and find a perfect model for it. And if we are using, then we have to convert the data in a appropriate way for further use. So in this series, in this video, what I will do, I will not because I showed in my previous video is that by how to get the deseasonalized data by using the packages. Here in this video I'll show how to get seasonal differences. So mostly we know that seasonality occurs or frequently appears in the quarterly and monthly datas because of the obvious reason we know, because maybe because of festive reason, because festive season, because of the monsoon, and similar event like that. So if we are using a quarterly time series data, we have to difference it, which we call seasonal difference, and that I'll show in this video. And specifically I am following Walter Ender's time series book and the example given there, and the data I am using is the data used in Walter Ender's book. And yeah, let's proceed. So what to do for that, we first have to load certain packages. So these are the three packages: do, uh, RU Gauge, and T series, and Zoo package. This package I'll load. Okay, so I since I'm using that particular data, this data is the money supply data M1 of US economy. So we'll check its stationarity, we'll convert it and take the seasonal difference and see whether after doing that we are getting a perfect deseasonalized time series or not. So I'll call the data. So now my data is there. If okay, if I'll now this is the data. So there are many variables are there. So I am specifically interested in this one, M1. So what I'll do, I'll since this data I mostly in time series data, after importing the data you have to inform the R package that this is a either yearly, quarterly or monthly data. So for that we have to convert our uh, the time variable in appropriate way, uh, and here we are converting our date variable, which is this since is a quarterly data, we are giving this command. We are saying here that save date in the format of year and quarter. So if I'll run it, now it is done. So and this is a specific command to show multiple plots or multiple figure in a in one window. So here I am showing two figure one by one. I'll show in one window. Yeah, that is. So that's why this one m flow. So I'll run it. So what I'll do, I'll show the actual data first. So to do that, I'll plot the data. Plot. So this is the command. In time series data, it is must that you have to you have to take the date variable also while plotting, and this is the data this is the M1 money supply uh, series we are interested in. So I'm coloring it in red, so that's why, and it's a line, I'm putting that in line, not in box or not in dot format, so that's why it is L. So if I'll run it now, this is very small. Okay, now I'll rerun it. Now I'll first clear it. Okay, I'll do it one by one. I'll not. Okay, now this is the thing. If I'll run it, now you can see that it's following an increasing trend. It is not stationary. So in generally what we do, we if the data is not stationary, we take the difference, or um, yeah, we take the log difference. That procedure we follow. Let's see its growth rate. So this is the actual data. If I plot the growth rate of it, so to find out the growth rate, I am since it is rate, so this is the like I am first converting the data into log format, then taking the differences and multiplying it with 100. So this is will give me growth of M1 uh, in percentage term. So if I'll run it, now it's done. Then if I'll plot it, I'll zoom it. Now you can see that the growth is stationary, but there is a seasonal pattern here. At the end of every quarter, in the last quarter of every year, there is a clear upward or downward movement in the series. that means there is a seasonal, this data is seasonal data. So to see whether the data is seasonal or not, this is one way. Graphically you can see, and another way is that you should see its ACF, sorry, AR and MA. You should check for AR and MA of the data and see whether that is following, like it's a stationary one if AR1 or MA1 procedure it is following, or combination of both. So to do that, so this is just a AB line, so I'll put it here. Okay, now I'll do it one by one. So this is, then I'll check for the SCF function. To check the SCF function, I'm generating a new variable called SCFMG. Then SCF, I'm calling the function, then the variable name growth of money M1. So I'm looking at up to 25 lakh. Then the main is SCF. So this command is simple, like it's to giving the name and so giving the color of the SCF correlation functions. So if I'll do that, now I'll run it. Okay, now you can see that to find out whether the data is following a AR process, MA process, or AR MA process, what we have to see the theoretical autocorrelation function, if it is an AR1 process or any order of AR. If suppose if it is one AR1 process, after its fast lag, the correlation functions would decline eventually. So here it is, you can see that this is the at lag 4 you have one spike, then at lag 5 there is another spike, it is, and you can see these are not declining eventually. Now at lag 16 you have another spike, so this is not a following an AR process. And we will similarly will plot the PSCF function. If we plot the PSCF function also, what PSCF function is, that says that it should it should, like the PSCF spikes should cut off to 0 at the order of lag. Suppose if you want to say that this is an MA1 or MA2 process, it should cut off to 0 after its first lag, which is not happening. There at fifth lag there is a spike, then again at 8th 9th lag there is a spike, 9th lag there is a spike. So we now don't know what this function is, what this series is actually, whether it is AR function or MA function or something else. Or so to one procedure is that, like, even we saw that even the growth rate is though it is stationary, so it is there is a seasonal component, and we don't know about its what data generating process it is following. So to do this, then what we have to do, we have to do seasonal adjustment. To do the seasonal adjustment, since it is a quarterly data, we will differentiate it with fourth lag to remove the seasonal component. So this is simple. This is simple for the, like, I want to if even if you remove it, there is unless you want to plot two figure in one page. For that you need this command. I want only one figure in one page, so that's why I have written C11. Okay, that's so. Then what I told that we have to take the seasonal difference here we are taking the difference. Okay, difference of the this one first. This will give you the growth rate, and we are taking the difference of the growth rate and difference of 4, because it's a quarterly data, and we observed that there is a seasonal pattern uh, in every fourth quarter of the data. That's why we are taking the seasonal difference at 4. So if I'll do that, it's done. Then what I will do, I'll plot it. If I'll plot it, now you can see somehow it has reduced. In my earlier graph, this portion, there is a like upward trend. Now it has gone. Then if I do a AB line and look again, you will see that all the series is converting, returning back to its uh, mean value. So that is, so now this is graphical pattern is okay, but what if I want to see the ACF and PACF function and want to know that whether this is following any whether it is following AR model, MA model or RMA model. So what I'll do, I will again this, I want only one figure in one base, so that's why. So what I'll do, I'll compute its ACF and PACF function. So to compute the ACF and PACF functions, what I'll do, it's simple, like the previous command. You have to call the ACF, and here you have to change the name. That is, it's your now seasonally differences. Seasonally difference money supply M1 growth rate. So if I'll do that, now this will be okay. Now if I'll do that, you can see that this is AR4 process, because after the fourth lag, this is your ACF function is declining. Eventually there is no spike. So then you can see by putting the ACFs. So here you can see up to fourth lag 4, there is the ACF is too high, 0.41, and after that it declined eventually. So similarly, I will put the PACF function. We know both are important. So you can see that, so there is a PACF function is not cutting off to 0 at 4th lag. There is spikes at 6th lag, 8th lag, then this is your 16th lag or something. So what we know, now the seasonality is in MA process. Now that seasonality is because of this moving average thing. So for that you have to change your data appropriately and take a proper model which account for this seasonality, both in seasonality. So how to do that maybe I'll show you my next video. So this is for 2 days. Thank you very much for watching, and if you find any mistake, please comment, and I'll put the link of my previous video which I made on seasonality and getting the deseasonal data by using two specific packages of R in the description below. So if you want to watch, you can watch that, and I'll be very glad if you point out the mistakes in this video, so that I will clarify it and not commit those mistakes in my future videos. Thank you very much for watching. See you.